Hey guys, welcome to another video, and this time I will talk about the things that drive me mad while playing Souls games, whether it's dying to an easy boss, or terrible hitboxes, or even crazy stuff like this happening. So without further ado, here are my top 5 frustrating moments in Souls games. Of the many ways you can die to a boss, dying when you're just one hit away from victory has to be the most frustrating one of them all. Now this can happen due to you getting nervous and making mistakes, or you just being unlucky and having bad RNG. There is a reason though why I don't rank this higher, because if you die to an easy boss like Pinwheel, you might just throw yourself to the floor laughing. But when you're fighting Promise Concert Redam for 150 times in a row and something like this happens, well, good luck on trying not to break your controller. Now, getting lost in Souls games is something that in Sekiro, Demon's Souls and Dark Souls 3 doesn't happen that often due to those games being a bit more on the linear side, but in games like Bloodborne, Elden Ring and Dark Souls 1 and 2, getting lost can lead to great frustration. A few examples are getting lost in the Forbidden Woods in Bloodborne, getting lost in the sewers in Elden Ring, getting lost in Dark Souls 2 due to super cool weather conditions, but nothing beats Dark Souls 1 in the frustration department when it comes to getting lost. Now you can be lucky and start the game as you're supposed to, but if you're unlucky like me, you will get lost and go into the catacombs where you will die hundreds of times until you finally give up and go back, only to lose yourself again and go into Ghost Town, where you won't know how to kill the enemies for a great dose of insane frustration. But nothing, and I mean nothing, beats the absolute horror that is choosing the wrong path and go to the Tomb of the Giants without a light source and no warping between bonfires. And after hours and hours and hours of trying not to get mad, you will get to this door only so that the game tells you that you have to go all the way back. Thank you, Miyazaki. Thank you. Souls or blood echoes or runes are things we use to buy items and to level up our character, therefore making them crazy important for our progress into the game. And in Souls games, every time you die, you have one chance to recover them. If you fail, they are gone forever, which will of course lead to huge frustration. Now there are of course different levels of frustration. One thing is to lose 10 souls to an enemy next to a bonfire. Another one is to lose 100,000 runes to Ludenzalen, which is something you definitely not wanted to happen. Another thing worth mentioning is that how you recover your souls have been changing throughout the games. In Dark Souls Trilogy you needed to remember where you lost them and go there. In Elden Ring the game gives you a compass to lead you there. And in Bloodborne your souls can stay within an enemy, forcing you to kill him to recover your souls, which is a very scary situation. In the end, losing your souls can definitely be one of the most frustrating things that can happen in these games. I understand if you find these last two controversial, because not everyone does speedruns, but this is my personal list, and as someone that has done speedruns on Bloodborne, Dark Souls 3 and Elden Ring, believe me when I say that dying in a speedrun is insanely frustrating. Now after a few playthroughs and learning the game really well, it gets to a point where we need a challenge. So you might try an SL1 run, others try a no-def run, or you might try to do one of the hardest challenges, which is to speedrun a game. Well, speedrunning a game requires you to memorize an insane amount of things. All the items you need, the entire path between the bosses, all the fastest ways to beat the bosses, what to buy and how many souls do you need. And you also have the pressure of having a timer showing you if this is a good run or not. And the idea of a speedrun is to finish it without dying, of course. So every time you die, it means you have to start all over again. And some of the games take quite some time to finish, even in a speedrun. The worst possible scenario in this is of course dying to the final boss. And as someone that has died to Soul of Cinder, Mergo's Wet Nurse and Elden Beast when I had 0 deaths, let me tell you, it is crazy painful. And there is only one more thing more frustrating than this, which is back in 2011, when Dark Souls came out and everyone was calling it one of the hardest games of all time, One guy by the name of Happy Hob decided he was gonna try to no-hit the entire game, and he succeeded. After that insane moment, lots of people have tried to do the same, and as of right now in 2024, there are hundreds of people that have done no-hit runs in at least one of the 7 From Software games. A website page was created with the name Team Hitless, and I'm very proud to say that I have my name in that page with a no-hit run in Bloodborne and another one in Elden Ring, which were without a doubt my happiest moments in all my life as a gamer. Same way as a speedrun, getting a no-hit run requires that you know a game incredibly well, especially all the boss's entire moveset, and unlike a speedrun, you have to take things slowly, making a successful run take a few hours to complete. Now, the no-hit run for Bloodborne took me around 1 month to achieve, and Elden Ring took around 2 months. And while trying Bloodborne hitless is not super frustrating because you fight a boss every 10 minutes, Elden Ring no-hit run is crazy boring and frustrating beyond belief. To do the Serpent Hunter route, you are required to ride a horse for around 40 minutes, catching talismans, cookbooks, flowers, and many other things until you finally get to fight the first boss, which is Godskin Noble, followed by our friend Rykard. And oh my god, these two destroyed like 80% of my runs. I'm not even kidding. I cannot stand to even think about these two bosses, honestly. And every time they would do that they would hit me, it would force me to go back again for another 40 minutes of horse riding and catching items over and over again. Luckily, I have never ever got hit while getting hitless to the final boss in any of these two games, but without a doubt, I can easily imagine that being the #1 most frustrating thing it can happen to a Souls player. And with that, I've finished this list. These are my top 5 most frustrating moments in Souls games. I hope you enjoyed watching the video, and please let me know in the comments what are your top 5 most frustrating moments for you. And of course, stay well, and I see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.
Look at this! No, man! I cannot play this game. I cannot play this game. My character jumped to the reverse. I was facing the boss. I press back and jump, and my character rotates 180 degrees and jumps in the direction of the boss. Yeah, no, yeah, I'm out.